Welcome to the Depth Dive. We go through some pretty interesting sources to pull out the insights that really count.
Glad to be here.
So today we're looking at a paradox, one that I think most of us have seen, maybe even experienced. Picture this. Someone incredibly smart, top of their game, maybe,
Okay.
and they make a decision that just makes no sense. We actually came across this story, a Harvard grad who apparently invested everything they had in Dogecoin
Ouch.
right at the peak, just gone.
That is a truly painful lesson, yeah.
It really is, and it gets you thinking, doesn't it? So our deep dive today is wrestling with that question. Why do really intelligent people, people with maybe 150 IQs, sometimes do things that seem, well, frankly, kind of baffling?
Things that scream 15 IQ energy, as
Yeah.
the saying goes.
Exactly. Our mission really is to unpack that. Why smart brains sometimes make these, let's call them dumb moves using insights from the material we've looked at.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is this core idea that intelligence isn't always the same as wisdom. Sometimes being really smart can actually get in the way of making good decisions.
Right.
You probably know someone like this. Maybe they can explain, I don't know, quantum physics. But ask them to stick to a gym routine.
Yeah, or balance a checkbook even.
Right. Or you see these brilliant tech founders maybe who are geniuses with code, but then their public comments are just baffling sometimes.
That contrast, yeah. Genius in one area, but then a real blind spot somewhere else. It highlights the problem perfectly.
It absolutely does. It's that gap, isn't it, between knowing what you should do intellectually and then actually applying it. Reminds me of that probably fake stat you hear sometimes.
Weird one.
That, like, studies show 9 out of 10 geniuses still leave their keys in the fridge.
Yeah, I've heard versions of that. It's funny because it feels true somehow. Sets the tone, right? Smart, but not always practical.
Precisely. So it's not just about raw horsepower, brain power.
So if it's not that, what is it? We dug into the sources, and we've kind of pulled out what look like the top 5, let's call them dumb traps, the common pitfalls even really sharp people fall into. Ready to go through them?
Let's do it. So number 1, we're calling this the I'm always right syndrome.
Okay.
This is where intelligence kind of shades into arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're used to being the smartest person in the room, used to being right.
You stop listening.
Exactly. You become resistant to feedback. You don't question your own assumptions as much. And, like the saying goes, the only thing worse than being wrong is being wrong and smug about it.
Because the smugness blocks you from learning anything from the mistake.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that feeling of being right, that conviction, leads straight into trap number 2.
Which is?
Analysis paralysis. Smart people can overthink things to an incredible degree, like it's an Olympic sport.
Oh, I know this one.
They gather data, they build models, they run scenarios in their head,
Right.
and then nothing.
They just spin.
Yeah, they get stuck.
Yeah.
The decision never gets made because they're chasing this perfect answer that honestly probably doesn't exist. They optimize themselves into inaction.
That's a good way to put it. Okay, what's trap number 3?
Number 3, emotional blind spots. Big brain, tiny EQ, basically.
EQ, emotional intelligence.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be incredibly analytical, logical, but if you haven't developed emotional literacy, well, you can make some really baffling interpersonal mistakes or even self-sabotage.
Because you're trying to logic your way through feelings, maybe?
Sort of. Or just completely missing the emotional context, misreading people, not understanding your own motivations even, assuming intellect solves everything.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. It's like the supercomputer without the empathy chip.
Good analogy. Okay, 4th trap, the curse of specialization.
Ah, the expert who knows everything about one thing.
And almost nothing about anything else practical.
Yeah.
Someone who can explain string theory but can't figure out the toaster.
Or, like, understand a basic contract or mortgage statement.
Exactly. They dive so deep into their niche that the everyday stuff, the common sense things, just pass them by. They become naive outside their zone.
Okay, one more. Number 5.
Number 5 is confidence overdose.
Yeah.
If arrogance burned calories.
We'd all be ripped. Haha, yeah.
Right. Smart people, especially successful ones, can get really confident, overconfident.
Believing their own hype a bit.
Totally. And that leads them to ignore warning signs, dismiss good advice from others, take huge risks,
Yeah.
just because they think their sheer intelligence will see them through.
Wow. Okay, those 5 traps, they really paint a picture, don't they? It makes you think about some decisions you see out there.
Definitely.
Which brings us to something fun. We found this scenario and we want to put it to you, the listener. Time for our smart or stupid game.
All right.
Here it is. A Silicon Valley founder, apparently, decided to microdose mushrooms right before a really important pitch to investors.
I like
Okay? Smart or stupid? What do you think?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, well, you could argue maybe it's calculated. Trying to boost creativity or focus,
Yeah.
that could tie into that confidence overdose, right? Yeah. Believing they can handle it, maybe even perform better.
Okay, that's one angle. Or is it just a massive emotional blind spot, like completely ignoring the potential downsides, the risk of it going wrong, the professional judgment aspect? What if the investors found out?
Right. What signal does that send? It's definitely a choice, as you say, a very Silicon Valley choice, perhaps. So, listeners, what's your verdict? Smart move or not so smart?
Let us know. Now, stepping back a bit, is there like a scientific reason behind these dumb moves? Are smart brains wired differently in a way that makes them prone to this stuff?
That's a really good question. And yeah, there's research that touches on this. People like Daniel Kahneman, Keith Stanovich, they've done amazing work on thinking processes, system 1, system
Yeah.
2 thinking.
Right, fast and slow thinking.
Exactly. And the core idea, simplified obviously, is that your brain's raw processing power, the CPU, isn't usually the problem. It's more like the operating system.
The software.
Yeah, the mental shortcuts, the heuristics, the built-in biases we all have. That's where the bugs are. So even someone really intelligent can fall hard for things like, say, my side biases. Basically, being really, really good at finding reasons to support what you already believe. Smart people can be excellent rationalizers. It makes it harder for them to see their own errors.
Okay. Or that overconfidence bias we mentioned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trusting their own judgment so much they just dismiss data that contradicts it. The operating system defaults override the processor's ability to see clearly.
That makes so much sense. It explains why sometimes, even when you know better on some level, you do something completely illogical. I have a confession.
Oh, yeah?
I once tried to fix my Wi-Fi by
Mhm.
turning the fridge off and on again.
Uh-huh. Really?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea why my brain made that connection in the moment, but for like 5 seconds, it seemed perfectly logical. My own little genius gone wrong moment.
That is brilliant. And honestly, so relatable. That's a perfect example of that disconnect, isn't it? The
Yeah.
wiring just crossed somewhere. You are definitely not alone in those moments.
Good to know. And hey, we actually want to hear your stories like that. If you've had a moment where your inner genius took a weird detour, let us know. Send us a DM, maybe even a voice note.
Yeah, we could do a whole future special on brilliant blenders. That would be fun.
Totally. Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway?
I think a key thing is this. Don't let intelligence curdle into arrogance. The really smart approach. Pause. Double check your assumptions.
Right. Because the ones who get into trouble often just double down on their first instinct, even when it's wrong.
Exactly. Smart people double check. The others, well, they tend to double down.
And maybe one last thought to leave you with. Something to chew on.
Hmm.
If you find your inner genius starting to overthink everything, getting stuck in that analysis paralysis, maybe, just maybe, ask your inner idiot what they would do. Just hypothetically.
Uh-huh.
And then find the compromise between the two. Might be surprisingly effective.
I like that. Find the compromise. It's definitely a thought worth mulling over.
Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.